Captivating Kumari. Yeah, that's what we were hearing all evening. I mean, I have never been to a school function like this one. I've been to many school functions. I have been to many award ceremonies. The teacher will call, even the way they conveyed the awards, a beautiful conveyor belt of 3 students were standing. It was just appearing on my hand and I was giving it away. Beautiful organization, beautiful coordination, great dictionary effort by the teachers who were reading it out. They kept you motivated, they kept you going, right? I was enjoying every moment. I was listening to them. The payam peri idu enna solla poranga rhyming vaarthaki appadina I was thinking. So it was interesting. But along the way, I was also noticing that there are 2 other kinds of people here. Not just the prize winners, there are 2 other kinds of people. So I want to take a little time to talk to you about the 3 kinds of people I see and share 2 bits of advice, 2 bits of hard-earned advice, life experience you can say, to each of those 3 kinds of people. Who are they? Of course, the first group is the winners group. The ones who put in the hard effort, who sweated, who toiled, who were awake when everybody else was asleep, who were also lucky, I guess. Yes? How many of you agree they were lucky also? Yeah. See? So they were lucky. Right place at the right time, right attitude, right mood, everything clicked. They got those awards. The winners, surely. There is a second group, the runners. Yeah? You remember that famous gulab jamun advertisement? Huh? I came second. Mom is making gulab jamun. How many people played? 2 people. Right? So there are the second group of people, the runners. But don't think it's always the second prize or the third prize who are the runners. The runners are everybody else who participated. Imagine the teachers had declared that there will be a contest called Access Performed. What is that? Oh wow, good. Access Performed. And nobody turned up, or 1 person turned up. Do you think they would have conducted it? The most important reason a student bagged number 1 prize is because there were 4 more students who participated. That is the second group. That is the second group. Hey, third group. Adukku varum clap paru. That is the second group. What is the third group? The third group, the last bench, waiting near the exit. Yeah? When will this guy finish? When can I leave? Yeah? They are, I will call them the sitters. Right? So the winners, the runners and the sitters. You know, the sitter was the guy who broke the television by throwing the remote at it because Dhoni was run out in the World Cup match. As if this guy had been doing, he would have won the cup for us. Yeah? He is the couch potato. He is the spectator. When people are bleeding in the arena, this guy eating popcorn says, "Hey, put it down." So the winners, the runners, and the sitters. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 bits of take-home advice. Close your eyes for 5 seconds and decide who you are, guys, girls. And the 2 things I'm going to share with you, forget the other things, they are not for you. Choose only who you are and listen only to those 2. Because we guys can't remember more than 2 things these days, right? Yeah. Let me start with the runners. I will list out a few things. Can you tell me what's common among it all? Bamboo roots, tortoise shell, rubber, tungsten, human hair, peacock feather, ostrich tail feather. What's common among this all? You know what connects all these? All these were used by Alva Edison before finally 5,000 different types of bamboo hair he has tried. He collected bamboo strands from around the world. Will something work as my filament for my bulb? He already invented the bulb long ago. If I pass current, it will glow. But it had to last. It had to become a business, a product. What do I use for it? 5,000 different strands of bamboo he tried. And so many others that I listed out just now. Tungsten finally clicked. Genius is 99% perspiration, he said. 1% inspiration, but 99% perspiration. So for all the runners who just missed it, we didn't know. We gave award to the 490. We didn't know how many were 489. Right? We didn't know if that girl fell off the bus the previous evening, had a fever, grandma passed away. So many things make us stumble before that final success moment. But genius is 99% perspiration. In fact, he has gone even to say, if you are willing to fail interestingly, you tend to succeed. So all your aspirations should not be to win. Your aim should not be to win. Your aim should be to be interesting, to do something meaningful, to do something interesting. Automatically success will come. The second bit of advice for runners is, I will read another list. Tell me what's common about all those. Kochadaya, Linga, Kala, Kabali, Bedtime. Okay, superstar, Rajinikanth and all that. What stands out, guys? What is different? Is there an odd man out in this list? Yes, all of them were Rajinikanth superstar stars. Is there something that stands out? How many of you watched Kochadayan, Kala, Linga versus Petai and Kabali? What I'm trying to point out is there were Rajinikanth super hits and unfortunately, don't get angry, there were Rajinikanth super flops. So my question to you all is, did Rajinikanth go sit in his house on a sofa and say, okay, we have done a good hit, we have done another good hit, let's do a flop. How do I do a flop? Right? Did he do that? He wants every movie to be a hit. Just like you want every maths paper to score 100. Success can't be foretold. You cannot predict success. On the other hand, one thing you can do is personally, to your own conscience, deserve success. That is the more important thing. You all know Steve Jobs, Apple ex-CEO, passed away, cancer. His dad taught him a very important lesson when he was a kid. His dad used to do carpentry. And he was making a podium, a lectern like this. And you know what? When Steve Jobs, the little boy, was watching, his dad went ahead and started painting the inside of this wood, which will never be seen by anybody on earth, because it's going to be plastered to another wood piece and nailed in. He was painting the inside that will be permanently sealed very soon, carefully. Steve asked him, Dad, you're wasting time, you're wasting paint. You are painting something that's not going to be seen by anybody. And Steve Jobs' dad said, I am aiming for perfection. I am not aiming for a prize. You realize that? So the second very important lesson for runners is aim to satisfy your own potential. Could I have done better? If you have that question in your mind, you can't sleep well. But just because you came second or third or last in the race, not going to give you sleepless nights. Could I have done better? Don't let that question bother you. Done. The guys who are runners can leave. We now move on to the second group. The sitters group, my favorite group. And by the way, please understand one thing. Runners, winners, sitters, it's not as if we have a label on us saying I am a winner. The maths guy who scored centum is not the guy who scored in corporate tycoon. We are runners in some, we are winners in others, we are sitters for the rest of it, every one of us. You agree? How many of you know how many marks Sachin Tendulkar scored in 10th standard mathematics? How many of you need to know? Right? That's the point. So, the second group is the sitters group. The guys with the remote control. The guys who crashed the television because Dhoni was run out. The first question I want to ask them is, what is happiness? For a very long time, we don't get off that couch because we are afraid that we'll become unhappy. Because we will not reach the destination. I won't reach the destination, so I'll be unhappy, so let me remain happy, is the scientific process, logic that most of the sitters follow. If students here, teachers here, colleagues and friends can motivate those people to understand the truth about what happiness is. What is happiness? Happiness is not in the destination, happiness is in the journey. The interesting people you meet, the amazing experiences you have along the way, the failures you face, the lessons you learn, that comprises happiness. There is no gold pot at the end of the rainbow. The rainbow is the beauty. The journey you make, if you can celebrate that journey, that is when you will realize it's time to get off the couch. I can do better than anybody who is sitting on the couch. Get off the couch. So that is the first and important lesson. Define happiness by the experiences you get while competing, not by holding the cup aloft. If you can define happiness as the experience, nothing can stop you. The second question, again related to the sitters, is who will participate? Why do we need corporate tycoon? Why should I do come access outbound? What is this? Yeah, I am going to do something else. That casual, what is learning? Why am I doing integral calculus? How many of you have that question? Is it going to be useful after 12th standard? How many of you wonder, what is this calculus business? Yeah. See? Yeah. So this question, if you have it or not, doesn't matter, you will soon get it. If you have already got it, amazing, you are maturing as an adult. Ask your dad. Ask your dad or mom. Franka solid. I am not going to get angry with you. Just tell me, all the things you learned in school and college, how much of it did you really use in your work, in your life? Ask them this question. Wait. Like an idiot, I went and asked that question to my dad. I will tell you what happened. He told me, oh my God, it's an amazing lesson, beautiful lesson. He told me, look at this pack of balloons. New pack, remember? Diwali, Christmas, New Year, pack of balloons. You open a packet, all of it will be filled with a lot of rubbers. Yeah? Pack of balloons. And then he had another single balloon next to me, to the right. On the left was a fresh pack of balloons, 100 of them. On the right was the same balloon from one of the 99 balloons here, one balloon here. He asked me to blow air into that fresh balloon. Oh, yo, this started paining, yeah? How many of you have experienced it? Yeah, see? This will start paining, your cheeks will start paining. And then he gave me this balloon. He asked me to blow it. Beautiful, fast, easy, smooth, effortless. It just billowed into something so large. And then he told me, you know what's different from this balloon and this balloons? I took this balloon And for 15 days, I pumped air into this, sealed it, and kept it expanded for 15 days. And then, before you came with this question, I released air from it. This is a balloon which has been expanded and has contracted. So, my dad told me, all learning in school and college is nothing but balloon filling and emptying. So that when the real lessons of life come to you, they don't need to struggle to get into your brains. You will be a better receptacle. Your brain, the whole learning is not to fill your brain, they say. It is to open a closed one. Make a closed brain into an open one is the more important goal of all learning, of all education. So don't ask, what is integral calculus? But instead, the space left by integral calculus on March 21st, after you finished your March 20th maths exam, that space is valuable. And all the idiots who didn't study integral calculus will not have that space. That is the beauty of all learning. So, for sitters, 2 lessons again. What is happiness? It's in the journey. And what is learning? Remember the balloon my dad gave me. Alright, now we come to the winners. So, actually sir was telling me when I just came into the auditorium, he said, Rumba nalla irundhathu kekka. I haven't heard that often. He said, every one of these kids is an achiever. So, that is how he sees you. Right? He sees you as his proxy children. Every one of you is an achiever, he said. I didn't even ask. It just poured out. That's the emotion he has reserved for you. So for the winners, all the people that I saw today, I shook hands with, I congratulated and immediately wished them best of luck too. I don't know how many of you remember that. I said congrats and I also said all the best. I have 2 lessons for you. Number 1, play the right game. There are 2 games I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you the score that I made in those 2 games. You need to tell me which one I won, which one I lost. Alright? Okay? Alright. So, I don't know how many of you know carom board, you know, right? Carom board. Yeah. So, in this game of carom board, I started, and in one hit, I cleared all the coins in all 4 pockets. Everything went in, the board was clear. That's me, on the left. On the right, I played a game of football, a team against another team. And my team scored 14 goals. Which one did I win? Did I win the carom board game? No. Who says no? Why? One hit I cleared the board. I didn't give an opportunity for the other player to even play. One hit I cleared the board. I win. Period. There is no options. On the other hand, how many of you think I won the football game? I scored 14 goals. Your question, smart children, should have been, how many did the opponent score? The opponent scored 16 goals. I lost. So, the first advice to winners is pick the right game. Don't look at life as football. If you look at life as football, can I do a little more than my next person seated next to me? You will be limited by the limitations of your partner. On the other hand, in games like billiards, in games like golf, in games like carom board, in games like life, the system is your opponent. The system is your enemy. You should always try to compete against the system and not against the opponents. So pick the right game. When you play a game, when you play the game of life, don't limit yourself with, I will just do a little better than the other guy. If Usain Bolt had done that, he wouldn't have cracked the world record 8 times. Who was he competing against? He was competing against the previous Usain Bolt 4 months ago, who set a world record in some other championship. I should do better than him, not these other silly guys who are running along. Because he was confident, if Usain Bolt can beat that guy, he can beat these guys automatically. So the first lesson to all winners, pick the right game, compete against your previous self, not against the silly competitors in your limited territory. There are amazing kids out there, guys. You're great. They could be great too. Right? So pick the right game is lesson number 1. The last lesson is, unfortunately, I don't know how you're going to teach that in a school environment. I keep encouraging schools to do that. We need to allow students to sometimes win trophies because of their ability to collaborate, not compete. Right? I would have loved it if one of those announcements had been, this boy here ensured all the others finished that marathon race. Or this girl here ensured that all the other kids were able to come up with their creative ideas for rung spectra. Where is that thankfulness? Where is that collaboration? Where is that cooperation? It's all, when 2 hands meet, it's this, arm wrestling. Can't 2 hands meet like this? Can't they be a shake hand? I am looking for those competitions. Because someday you're all going to finish school, unfortunately. Someday you will go through college, and someday you will knock at the door of a corporate environment like I am in. And you know what? You will carry this disease of cutthroat competition.